Okay, so we have a few things to talk about here when it comes to the Vancouver Canucks, and it's not all sunshines and rainbows. Firstly, let's talk about the updates for the team today. Let's go over what happened in the previous game in Carolina, and also review Jim Rutherford's comments that he made yesterday that I happen to really like. But before we get over into any of that, just a quick update as to where I am. I did watch the game against Carolina. It was a great game, and it was a really fun time actually introducing my folks down there in Seattle to hockey. Even though they have a team now, they still kind of do cheer for Vancouver because that's where myself and my other immediate family are from. But aside from the game on Sunday, we had ourselves some news based off of that game on Sunday. Seth Jarvis of the Carolina Hurricanes, as well as Sebastian Aho, tested positive for the virus, and the results were not actually revealed until the morning after the game. Now, the thing is, Sebastian Aho didn't actually play against the Canucks, Seth Jarvis did. So, obviously, 1 in this situation is better than 2, but still, there were some precautions that needed to be taken because Seth Jarvis was a player playing in the game who had tested positive the next day. They did not end up accompanying the Carolina Hurricanes on their flight to Minnesota, and according to Michael Russo today, he is hearing the Canes have more positive results. They would already have to play with 11 forwards and 7 defensemen, and they cannot call anybody up due to cap issues, so it'll be interesting to see if tonight's game against the Wild is going to be in jeopardy. Okay, another update as of 4 minutes ago. It turns out the game has been postponed, or at least Russo is hearing it's going to be postponed. The Canes have 4 more positives today. Now, as for the Vancouver side of things, they had themselves a release on their website talking about the aftermath of that Carolina game. Long story short, the Canucks have announced today that defenseman Luke Schenn and Juho Lammikko have been placed into protocols. Let's go over onto the website and read what they have to say here. As a precaution, morning skate on Tuesday, December 14th has been cancelled as well. The Canucks players were recently tested on Sunday, December 12th, in accordance with the NHL's protocol list, and the club was informed of Schenn's positive result on Monday. All players, coaches, and training staff conducted additional testing on Monday, and the team was informed of Lammikko's positive test this morning, on Tuesday. So the team's traveling party all tested again this morning, and results from today's test are expected to be received prior to tonight's game against the Columbus Blue Jackets. So my question here is, the Canucks players were tested on Sunday, December 12th. Was this test done before or after the Carolina game? Because if it was done before the Carolina game and it was revealed the next day, oh, positive test for Schenn, that means Schenn was positive the entire time. And even before the game against Carolina and Seth Jarvis, he would have been positive. Had this test on Sunday, December 12th been after the Carolina game, okay, it's likely maybe Schenn was battling Jarvis out in front in a net front battle, and that's how he got it. So who knows if that's how things are going to go down. Juho Lammikko, of course, getting tested positive as well this morning after the test from yesterday's results came in. It is quite frightening to see this go down, especially with Carolina and more of their players potentially being tested positive as well. All we can do is hope for the best. We'll see if tonight's game against the Columbus Blue Jackets will actually get cancelled, but there are indeed so many other positive cases that have been revealed just today around the NHL. Barzal, Lucic, Marchand, so many guys. So the NHL, man, it's getting a little bit dangerous out there. We'll see where exactly this goes with the Olympics and everything, because, you know, there's a conversation to have about that too. Talk to me in the comments, though. What do you think about the Canucks and their game? What should they do tonight? If there is a game, we'll go out there and we'll cover it as normal. I actually do have a hockey practice later today at 7:15 that's scheduled to end around 9, so I probably will miss tonight's Canucks game if there is a Canucks game. However, I will still try to go out there and review it no matter what the case is. Aside from these pieces of virus-related news, though, the Vancouver Canucks also placed Travis Hamonic on the LTIR. Phil DiGiuseppe has also been recalled from the Abbotsford Canucks, so we'll see if he suits up in the lineup, assuming the Canucks actually play. You know, it's all dependent on if we actually see this team out there tonight. But aside from all the stuff from today's updates, I wanted to go over Jim Rutherford, because the new president of hockey operations and current interim GM had himself a press conference yesterday with Francesco Aquilini. It was 40 minutes long, and I was actually really happy to go out there and listen to this. Okay, no, maybe it wasn't 40 minutes long. The video file was 40 minutes long, and the Canucks themselves didn't actually bring those two on to get interviewed until like the 7-minute mark or whatever it was. But either way, the Vancouver Canucks had this press conference, they had this release, and it was awesome to see. Now, what I'm going to do is go over onto Reddit, because there was this very good post on the sub talking about Rutherford and the insight he has given as to what we can expect for the future of the Canucks. This is a lot easier because all the information is just one post away instead of going out there and reading like 5 different tweets. This was posted by Medium Yeet, so thank you so much for your post on the Canucks subreddit to go out there and paraphrase everything that went down. After listening to Jim Rutherford's press conference, there was a few things that he mentioned that I believe give us an idea of what we can see from him. Here is the paraphrasing. "We don't have a fast team here, which I usually like to have, but I like how we're playing quicker under Boudreau. If you're not fast, you have to play smart and quick." This kind of indicates what the Canucks would be going after. So Rutherford likes to build his team based off of speed. And, I mean, if you look at the Pittsburgh Penguins, sure, Rutherford isn't there anymore, but, like, just look at the profile that the Pittsburgh Penguins have every time they go out there. They're speedy, they're quick, they make decisions on the fly, they're fast with their decision-making, too. I like how Rutherford is so open that, yeah, this team isn't really a fast team. Like, the Canucks definitely could use a little bit of an upgrade on the speed department, aside from, I guess, Quinn Hughes when he's back-checking on a loose puck. I think that's like the fastest Canuck performance we have seen this season. Yeah, we're not really all too much of a fast team, aside from them and I guess Garland and Höglander, but there's a lot of good players here, but there are some areas that we have to improve, and especially with the cap, how long it is going to take, we have to get very creative when it's dollar in and dollar out. And usually when it's dollar in, dollar out, you're just bringing another guy back for that guy. Again, I like the direction. He's not going out there like the old Jim and saying, oh, this is a team that we can turn around in a hurry. This is a team that we feel like we can be competitive right away. No sugarcoating like that. It's straight up, yeah, it's going to be really difficult, and it's not going to be easy to improve this team right away, especially when it's dollar in, dollar out. Also, you shouldn't expect Rutherford to just offload contracts, but instead try to find deals around similar cap that fills a need, basically what he did with the Goodbranson for Pearson trade. He also did say that he does not regret the Jack Johnson and Eric Goodbranson acquisitions as well, which was a really big point of contention for a lot of Canucks fans because Goodbranson here was not good, and Jack Johnson got bought out a few years after getting acquired by Pittsburgh, but to give the benefit of the doubt, Eric Goodbranson was actually better in Pittsburgh than he was in Vancouver, and a lot of Penguins fans seem to agree on that unanimously. As for Jack Johnson, I guess Jim Rutherford is not going to go out there and slander any players that he has worked with in the past. Like, he's not going to say, oh yeah, I regret that, you know, it was a bad decision, whatever. Like, it goes both ways, I guess. Going back over to the paraphrasing here, he says, I don't want to trade draft picks unless they're later round picks. It's not the cycle we're in to trade high draft picks. Thank you, my goodness! No more Toffoli trades, my gosh. The trades we make, I'd prefer if we're gaining some age on it, so as we move along, if it takes a couple of years to bring it together and be a contender, then we have the right age group for them to come together. This is the biggest quote in the writer's opinion over here, Medium Yeet, on the Canucks subreddit. It shows that he expects this to take a few years, and he'll likely be targeting guys in the 22 to 26-year-old range. I think this is also an indication that he might move on from JT Miller. Of course, that is just pure speculation, but the gain age quote screams trading Miller to get someone that fits Petey and Quinn's age group a little bit more. Now, as we said, there are other players that could fit that mold too. Tanner Pearson is a player that Jim Rutherford has literally traded before, away from Pittsburgh, over to Vancouver, for Goodbranson in the first place 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? Okay, yeah, it was 2.5 years ago, something like that. Almost 3 years ago, my gosh. Then you have Brandon Sutter, who is also on the Vancouver Canucks. He has been traded by Jim Rutherford twice, once when he was a part of the Carolina Hurricane system, and twice when he was a part of the Penguin system in the Nick Bonino trade, where they acquired a guy who was pretty good analytically in Nick Bonino and traded away this analytical black hole in Sutter. So yeah, also Rutherford likes his analytics, so good on that. He likes the analytics, however, there are indeed the few moves that kind of get your head scratching a little bit when it comes to those analytics, like the Jack Johnsons and whatnot, but still, one part of the many, many years of work that Rutherford has built up for himself at the NHL level. So talk to me in the comments, what do you think about the Vancouver Canucks? Will they cancel tonight's game? What do you think about the new roster? Schenn is out, Lammikko is out, DiGiuseppe is in. Also, what do you think about the Rutherford comments that he made? I hope you enjoyed. This was Josh Rolls 99, and bye.